Hello, everyone, and welcome to the post-show live stream where we're going to be talking about, Tayshia, the whole episode, the cringe fest of an episode that was hard to get through at times, and yet we were rewarded with a Tayshia sighting at the end. Welcome, everybody. How's it going? To everyone who's joining me tonight to talk about the episode we just watched, thank you. For everyone who might be watching this afterwards, this is a post-show directly after the East Coast viewing of The Bachelorette, where we're going to talk about everything that went down, including all of the group date mess, all of the stuff with Tayshia that was shown at the very end, and if you're viewing and wondering what the heck this is, don't worry. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to talk. But if you're looking for the recap, that's going to be coming out tomorrow. Don't worry. And we have just a few rules before we get into all the discussions. One, please post only sleuthing spoilers. Anything that you have sleuthed out. Obviously now it's pretty much official that Tayshia is out there. It's not just speculation. It's not just stuff that's been blasted by the news media. ABC has pretty much now announced it. Also, if you have any questions, I'll be trying to answer them as best as I can in the chat box here. But if you really want to get something through, if you super chat, I'll be sure to get to that right away. And last but not least, be kind to each other, please, in the chat. Also, PSA, next week, The Bachelor will be on Thursday, or The Bachelorette will be on Thursday. Because of the election, The Bachelorette is going to be on Thursday. So, be aware of that. Spend your Tuesday voting and not trashing all the people on The Bachelorette. Or vote and then go on Twitter and trash them anyways. Whatever you want. It's your right. And right away, John, thank you so much for the super chat. Thoughts on Zach's date? I thought it was so cringe and awkward from the start of the spa to the end with him going home. Absolutely. So, yes, of course we're going to talk about that because that was one of the big things. Let me just switch here to the slideshow. Wrong one. Here's the one. There you go. So yes, the date, the spa date, and the whole kiss finasco that happened afterwards. So first and foremost, I think some of the awkwardness that happened there, and the thing that we need to say just right off of the bat, the second time he pulled in with her neck, that was that was not okay. That's the part where I think a lot of people are saying, they're taking exception to that part. But I also don't believe that Zach's intentions were, malicious there. I don't think he was trying to be an aggressor on Clare. And so I think Clare, someone who said she's had trauma before, I can understand her reaction absolutely. But I don't think I think with the whole situation, it was a misunderstanding with Zach not understanding what was going on, her pulling away, confusion, and then the second neck pull happened, and that was a little bit over the line. But I don't think we should jump on Zach, and cancel him. And Justine, thank you for the super chat. Do you think the men will leave or her? Her. It's absolutely her. She's leaving for Dale. And the guys are going to be like, what the hell? And then they're going to bring in Tayshia. And honestly, watching this episode, you can understand why the people at The Bachelor made the decision that they did. Because this whole episode, it was like, Dale, 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 Dale. Oh my gosh, I was so ready for it to be done. It's getting so tired. And then of course, just at the end, they give us the Tayshia It was absolutely the right move to add that in there. And then we can go, okay, now we have something to like, we have a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if Claire and Dale are happy together, I'm so happy for them, you know? But let's move on. And Rosie, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Claire walks out or the men do? Or did I just answer that? Oh, yeah, no, that was the same question as before. Same answer. It's, well, maybe there's a combination of both. They seem to be pretty peeved. But at the end of the day, I think it's Claire's decision to go with Dale. And obviously, she's just only interested in him. She only talked about him on that date. She sat down with all the guys and, you know, asked, why were you crapping on Dale the whole time instead of spending quality time? When Ben was saying, I don't want to talk about this, I'd rather, you know, chat. Ben was doing the right thing that you should be doing in that scenario. But I've never seen, usually I talk about the wrong thing to do on The Bachelor or Bachelorette is talk about someone else when you're with, when you're on a group date or one-on-one or whatever and you're getting that alone time. I've never seen a lead that's been the one to do that. I've never seen a lead that's, you know, focused only on the other guys or only on the one other guy when they're having alone time with someone else. So that's a bit new. And Emma, super chat as well. Thank you so much. Do you stan Bennett? He's already my Bachelor in Paradise pick. Absolutely stan Bennett. I can't believe... First episode, I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this guy. And then now he's my favorite guy here. But I'll also say I'm worried. I think Bennett has a lot of... there's a lot of ways... I'm worried he could screw it up somehow. I don't have 100% confidence in him yet. That being said, so Tayshia will come in. I don't know how many more weeks Bennett's going to get, so as long as he can last out another, 3 or 4 episodes, you know, he's going to be okay. And Diana, thank you as well for the super chat. Claire's giving me Jessica vibes from Love is Blind, by the way. This episode left me exhausted AF. Me too. Oh, man, thank goodness for that Tayshia teaser at the end there. It regenerated me so much. Watching this episode was exhausting. I just shut up about Dale. No disrespect to the guy or the relationship, but it's just getting tired. It's getting played out. And Kate, thank you for the $1. Really appreciate it. Let me see if there's more that I've been missing. Allison Johnson, keep it up. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Rachel Robinson as well. 1, Yusuf had valid points and started out articulate, but then he devolved into offensive and ruined his case. 2, did you catch Claire calling it the process a no word? I know. She also, in the end, was it me or did she say, yeah, I think people have been mentioning this, fiance? You talk about my fiance that way? Not that we should be surprised, right? You know, that this is how she views Dale in her mindset. But absolutely, on Yusuf as well, Yusuf is a perfect example of you can be right in your justification of something, but you can also still be an asshole. At the end of the day, Yusuf, his points about, I don't like what you did with the strip date and how this whole time has been, and yet he still acted like an a-hole on camera, just after saying, I don't want to go here and be a bad example for my daughter. That's pretty rough. If he had honestly just gone on and said, you know what, I really disagree with this. I think this is disrespectful. I don't think we are the people for each other, and so I'm going to leave. That would have been much better for him. But I think he wanted to stir the pot. And Allie Grace, thank you as well for the super chat. Chloe Johnson, how many more episodes of Claire do you think we're going to get? / how many episodes of Tayshia? So I'm guessing we've got probably at least 2 more episodes of Claire. Now, that being said, next episode will be I think, a transition. We're going to get Clare out, and then we're going to get at least one more episode somewhere, maybe if not right after, but somewhere along the line where it's an update on Clare and Dale, where we see Clare in that red dress where she says, "I love you" to Dale, or some sort of fantasy suite date. Now, this could be while Tayshia's already the lead, but maybe not. But we're going to get at least one more of Clare, probably 2 or 1.5, but no more than that. We're going to be moving on. And let me just make sure I haven't missed any more here. Can we talk about Sniffing Pants? I just passed that one. And Brittany Kalai, thank you for the super chat. Do you think next week will be the episode where Clare leaves, then a wrap-up episode? Or do we have more time watching Clare fall in love with Dale? We're definitely going to have more time watching Clare fall in love with Dale, but it might be after she's already left. And LEC, I saw message retracted, but thank you for the super chat. There's definitely going to be more Clare and Dale updates, and there's probably going to be another update and probably like an engagement or something like that later on. So there's definitely going to be more time for that. But again, no more than, I think, 2 episodes, 1.5 of Clare. Probably in 2 episodes, we will be seeing Tayshia come in. Alyssa, thank you for the super chat. Can we talk about her sniffing his pants? I know. Come on. Are we, it's the Dale show. Everything Dale. Why not? And Allie Grace, thank you for the super chat. Most of the leads are asked by production / know their top 4 by night 1. Production knew they were doing 2 bachelorettes. Yes, there's a conspiracy here. And I have thoughts on this conspiracy. I have a video that I'm going to do on this conspiracy. So that's going to be coming out. Instead of our usual Tuesday Bachelorette or Monday here, I'm going to be doing a video to fill in the gap between now and Thursday, where we're not going to be having that episode at its usual time. Definitely going to be talking about the conspiracy of, did they know before the season started that they were going to get Tayshia to come in partway through. And Peg, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Melissa Gonzalez, Dale is not the issue. It's Clare. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I honestly, I don't have a lot against Dale apart from this episode. They really drove it in with the him interrupting all the time, which was awkward as heck to watch. And while watching Dale continuously interrupt and then talking to the guys and saying, "Oh, I wasn't doing anything. I was just walking around, and oops, I ran into Clare for a 7th time." It makes you wonder when they say we weren't talking before the show. After watching that, do you look at Dale and go, I don't know if I can trust you anymore. I think that's going to be a mystery unless someone has some receipts or something on that. So, Rosie, thank you for the super chat. Do you have to go to Bachelor Night Snack / Bevy? Do you have to go to Bachelor Night Snack / Bevy? I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I understand what that. Do you have? Sorry. I'm an idiot. I misread it. Do you have a go-to Bachelor Night Snack / Bevy? It depends on the night. I try not to do too many glasses of wine because there's I'm live tweeting and doing this live chat. So, I'd like to be somewhat coherent, even though I couldn't read your message the first 3 times I tried to. But I typically I'll eat right before The Bachelor, so I'm good to go for the rest of the night. But I'll have a glass of wine for sure, or maybe a little bit of whiskey. And Ellie, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Bachelor Fantic, love the show. Any guys in particular you're hoping stick around for Tayshia? Sorry if the spelling is wrong. So, hoping to stick around for Tayshia is, I don't know, it's a tough thing. One of my guys that I'm looking at, Ben, he's someone who I'm thinking could be around for Tayshia, and I'm now certain. The more, like, as I'm saying this, we talked about in a previous preview date breakdown, there's footage of Ben saying, like, I've never felt this way about someone before, and then it cuts to Clare, but we talked about, I think it's the first season preview video, we talked about this. He's saying, I've never felt this way before, cuts to Clare, but then we thought maybe this is actually Tayshia, and now it has to be. We've not seen that footage of Ben before, and it's not going to happen in like the next episode, right? So it's got to be with Tayshia. So that he's my front runner right now, based on the evidence we've got. He's someone that's for sure is going to be hanging around with Tayshia. Let me scroll again. Sorry, my thing just reset. Emma W. Harris, thank you for the super chat. Do you stan Bennett? He is everything. I stan him for Bachelor in Paradise. Absolutely. I can't believe how far we've come with Bennett. What a guy. And I think he's got that energy. It's that John Paul Jones energy, where he's not intimidating. There's like something about him that's like easygoing, despite his night one kind of pretentiousness, and you kind of just like chuckle, and you don't worry about him, and you also don't think he's not gonna win Clare or Tayshia's heart as well, so it's kind of disarming in that way too. I don't know. I stan him so far. He's got like about 2 or 3 more rose ceremonies max before he's gone, so I'm hoping he doesn't screw it up. And Alyssa Marie, thank you for the super chat. Do you think the producers noticed how focused on Dale that Clare was, that they contacted Tayshia before Clare even decided to leave? I think for sure the producers knew that Dale was a major frontrunner. Then we had night 1 where she was like, that's my husband, and then it really rolled out of control quickly. So I guarantee you that whatever the moment Clare, like based on the preview, sits down with Chris Harrison to say I'm leaving with Dale, is not the moment they went, oh crap, we better find someone new. They knew what was going down before that moment happens. The question is, did they know before the season started? And that's a conspiracy we're going to talk about later on in a video. In less than a week, it'll be out, or in a week. And Madrano, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. And Diana, again, thank you once again for the super chat. To be honest, I don't think I'm rooting for Dale and Clare the same way I would be other couples, just because we haven't seen anything special, just physical up to this point, but shrug emoji. Yeah, I mean, one thing that's really tough for their love story right now, and they're going to need to work on, and I bet you we will see a lot more of this in the episodes to come once they separate and leave, is we're going to see more Dale and Clare love story and romance where it's just them and there's no other guys. They have to show that, because otherwise, like, all we've had up to this point is drama about Dale, Clare only talking about Dale, and it's getting really tired. It's getting exhausting watching that. And I don't, like, at this moment, watching that episode, I was like, oh, like, stop. Like, let's just get on with this, please. And it's not that I'm here going, I hope they don't make it, or I don't like them, or, I don't know. But it's just exhausting to watch this just get beat over the head over and over and over and over, the Dale stuff. So they're going to need to work to recover from that. But we're also getting something that's so swift and so kind of out of, it's not normal. This like uber fast edition of The Bachelorette. Even though The Bachelorette and Bachelor is normally way too fast of a love story, we're getting it even faster, and it's hard to digest. So I can understand why you're not, digging their love story so far. All right, I think we've caught up. And Carly Bloom, thank you for the super chat. I feel like this was production's plan all along. They encouraged Clare to speak more on Dale so they can pull the switcheroo and justify it. Yes, it's interesting how production they let this happen. We've seen many times, and if you read like some of the behind the scenes books or stuff that Bachelor alumni talk about or release once their contract is up, some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on with leads, where leads have pretty much, decided 2 or 3, if not the person right off the bat, who they're going to pick. And often you'll see production try to, play a little bit unfairly with the person that the lead is leaning towards, so that there can be some more footage for other women, there can be some more drama, there can be, a longer season, a more dramatic or a season where you might not be sure who's going to be the person they're going to pick in the end. Yet this season, it seemed like they just let it happen. They let it happen from the get-go, and that's interesting. Why would they do that? Why would they do that if they didn't have a plan? So I'm going to talk more about that in the video coming up, my conspiracy video for Tayshia. And Brittany, again, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you feel like knowing how Clare's story ends just takes the fun out of the season? I already know there's no hope for any of these guys. Well, yeah, it definitely takes some of the fun out of this, few episodes that we've had, especially this episode, which is why it was so important for them to put in the Tayshia little teaser at the end there, the official Tayshia footage of her there. Because it's just, it's like we know what's going to happen. We know, it's not even, you can't pretend that something might go different because it's on blast everywhere. E.T. is talking about this. Every news outlet is talking about this. There's no, hiding anything, and it's on episode 3, and it's so obvious. You don't get to see the journey. You don't get to see Dale and Clare's journey slowly build over multiple episodes. It's just done. So the thing that saves us is the knowledge of Tayshia. That we have something to hold out on. Because I wonder if people would tune out. Could you imagine if this season was just Clare and Dale? And this for another 10 episodes? It'd be exhausting. But we know that Tayshia's coming, right? So, gets us through that. And Aubrey, thank you for the super chat. Once Tayshia starts, do you think they will get her a new group, pick up where they left off, or bring back the eliminated men? And I don't know. Any or all of those options. I guarantee you one thing. We know for sure, just purely based off of the footage that they have, that the men that are on the season, like Ben, are going to be back with Tayshia. And Zach. We've seen footage of Zach, even though it was really hidden. We've seen footage of Zach. So those two guys we know. Now, that being said, there were some guys that were a part of the original cast list, did not appear on Clare's season. So maybe those guys could come back. And yeah, I'm sure they could ask if they haven't already left or something, if they're still in the bubble, some of the other men to come back. Which kind of it would be nice to have a completely new group of guys for Tayshia. Be good for her. But I think this is such an unusual season that it's just kind of part of the deal. And Sarah, thank you for the super chat as well. How do you feel about Clare giving herself the rose? Yeah, I did not like that personally. She should have given the rose to someone. I thought it should have gone to Ben, based on at least the edit and the footage that happened. You know, him saying, hey, you know, I'm not part of the drama. You can ask me about Dale, but I want to, like, get to know each other more. I'd rather spend my time doing that. And then she gave it to herself, but I guess, like, of course, she's pretty much decided what she's going to do at this point. Let me see what I've missed. Creepshow art with the rose. Thank you for the rose and the super chat. I accept this rose. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. And Gabby Calla, how actually crazy that pants smelling was. Also, could we not kind of seen this all coming from how she gaslit Tyler C for Yusuf? Yeah, Tyler C definitely getting some redemption this episode. And the stupid thing is that Yusuf made some points that, like, you know, the base argument he had, I didn't like these things you did, totally fine. He just, you know, found a way to make an ass of himself. And Priscilla Navarro, why does Bennett have the biggest room? Why does Bennett have the most expensive car? Because he's Bennett. It just is the way of the world. Thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Is there a conspiracy there? I don't think so. I think Bennett, you know, he's a paradise guy, and that's where he's gonna land. I don't see. I find it hard unless some major preview footage comes up where Bennett is, you know, in a fantasy suite with Tayshia. I doubt he's got many more rose ceremonies to go. And Rachel, thank you for the super chat. Do you think she was that obsessed, or was it editing with Dale? I think. So yeah, the editing thing is always, you know, a question mark when it comes to anything Bachelor. Have they made it worse? Was it actually not that bad? Like, maybe she talked with all the guys and only a sentence of it was about Dale, but they only pulled out the Dale stuff. I think at the end of the day, the story that they were trying to tell, which is that Clare was just laser focused on Dale, is ultimately mostly true. Like, it's you know, it's obviously seems to be true. Is there maybe some editing to make it more dramatic or, you know, more over the top than what actually occurred? Yeah, possibly and probably. But I think the, you know, essential story that they were trying to tell was generally truthful. That episode and that time, there was a large portion of the group date that Clare spent talking about Dale. And the guys obviously were upset about it because they talked about it. And they were upset about how she pretty much gave the rose, she ended the date giving the rose to no one. So yeah, I think, you know, possibly some editing, but at the end of the day, mostly truth. But anyways, and so I hope I reached. If I missed anyone's super chat, I think I tried to get all of them here. If I missed any, I really apologize. But how many episodes do you think they'll give Tayshia? I think that was a part of someone else's question as well. There was how many more episodes of Clare, and then how many episodes of Tayshia. Typically, a Bachelor season is somewhere in like the 12 to 13 episode range, depending on if they do, you know, a part 1 and part 2 finale. And so if Tayshia comes in episode 5, you know, maybe it's the end of episode 4, and then episode 5 she comes in. That's about 7 to 8 episodes. 7 to 8 episodes. So, and you think about like the timeline, what we've got left, right? There's, basically 2 months left in the year, November and December. There's only so much time. We can't add more episodes before The Bachelor begins, right? And there's not going to be like what day is Christmas? Christmas is a Friday. So they could potentially do a December 22nd Bachelorette and a December 29th if they really needed to cram them in, but there's no way they're adding more episodes. And there's always that break for Christmas with pretty much any show that runs through December. So, and then January it's The Bachelor. So they can only fit in so many episodes. And Brittany, thank you for the super chat again. Really appreciate it. But Claire telling production to speed through the rest of the guys. LOL. Yeah, I mean, at this point, what are we, we've sped through this season already. So, there's no surprises. She's done. And I think she's getting ticked off because she's like super on Dale, and now everyone else is against Dale, and so she's decided she's against them. And she probably, like she's not hating these guys, probably, but she's probably peeved as well, and she's shown that. So that's how it's going to be. And Ramona, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. The men tell-all is going to be interesting. That's going to be weird, the men tell-all, because at that point it's going to be about Tayshia, but then they're going to be talking about Clare's season as well. And there's going to be drama from Clare's season. There's going to be drama from Tayshia's season, but Tayshia's season is going to be more recent. This season is completely just weird, bonkers, unusual, hard to predict, hard to figure out. It's if you're trying to measure this season or figure things out based off of how a typical season goes, good luck. And I say, like with the rose ceremony that happened at the beginning of this episode, typically, I looked up past seasons of The Bachelorette. Typically, on this episode, the second rose ceremony, it's something like 3 or 4 men go home, and I think Hannah Brown season it was 3. The seasons before that it was 3, and they sent home like 4 or 5 guys or something. Garen going home. Not, Blake, and there's now just only one Blake. Finally, two Blakes that their last name starts with an M and an O, and they're both tall dudes who are white with brown hair and a beard or stubble. It's too much for me. Too much. Taco Dale. Oh my gosh, yes. And Dale, thank you, Dale, for being the only person on this season, the only cast member to come out with some Halloween costumes. Really appreciate it. I can see now why Clare chose you. Really festive guy. And Go Flow Low, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Clare became the villain of her own season? This episode was exhausting. Will you accept my rose? First of all, absolutely, I will accept the rose. Thank you so much. And 2, that's villain of her own season. That's really tough. Like people say Juan Pablo became the villain of his season. Did Peter become the villain of his season? That's a question I wonder. I don't think so. I still think there were other villains of that season. Peter was just a bad bachelor, like a really bad bachelor. I think she's not the villain. I think she's just, things have gotten out of hand. I don't think she's being a very good typical Bachelorette lead right now. I think, at the end of the day, she's following her heart, and, if things with her and Dale work out and they live happily ever after, all the best to them. And, if that happens, she's obviously made all the right decisions here for herself. And so there's a level of, okay, I can respect that. But when it comes to like television, if you're a producer, or a viewer, then you'd probably say, no, she's not been a great, standard quotations, Bachelorette lead. She, by the books, she will probably not be regarded as one of the best Bachelorettes of all time. So, like, and yeah, and there's lots of people who say like, it's lust, and obviously the footage that we've gotten has been like, a lot of kissing, a lot of physicality between the two. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. And with anyone on the show, regardless of do I like them? Do we like them while they're on the show? When they couple up, if they couple up and decide that they're gonna, do this thing together, I wish them the best. With 99% of couples, as long as, they're good for each other, it's not something like scarily unhealthy, coming off of the show, of course, gonna wish them the best. Really hope they're happy and they have a wonderful relationship, but, we'll see. Watch there be a third Bachelorette. Now that's a conspiracy. No way. Like, how many? There'd be like 2 episodes per Bachelorette. And Abigail, thank you for the super chat. How do you think Clare is reacting watching back? Probably not happy. She's responded to a few people on Twitter. I'm sure she's held a bit by contracts. She can't talk too much. There's only certain things she can say. She responded to someone about Juan Pablo and the stripping thing, and she responded with a picture of Juan Pablo stripping for a promo. But I think wasn't that promo for a charity or something? I don't know. She has responded, and it doesn't seem like I don't think she's going to be happy. Because there's not been a lot of positive response to Clare's season, or Clare as the lead. So, what do you think about Peter and Kelly? Same thing. I wish them the best. They seem to be happy. I do not wish ill on their relationship. If they're happy and they're not hurting anybody, go do your thing. It's a shame he didn't pick Kelly from the beginning, I'll say, though. It's a shame. That whole mess happened. I from what they've said, I think, there was some producer maneuvering there that helped cause that. I think Kelly or Peter, one of them implied that the producers allegedly told Peter, I think it was Kelly who said this, that she wasn't into him. And so he thought, oh, okay. And that's why she went. Why is this? Hello? Heyo, sorry. Sorry about that. Thing was acting up. So, sorry if I missed. I thanked Rachel, Jessica talking about Barnett. Absolutely a connection to be made. And Camila with the thumbs up. Thank you for the super chat as well. And what I might have been started to talk about, I just read the question. Do you think Dale and Clare leave engaged? And my answer is I would say so. Sorry, I just blinked twice if Claire is there with the gun. I'm trying, I'm blinking. No one can see me. Fantake, do you have a dolphin with you? Oh, that's my mouse. I need to get that. I was scrolling up. My mouse needs some grease. Man, okay. We're going to work on it. We're going to get some new equipment up in here. So, yes, back to Claire and Dale. So she's been seen with an engagement ring on, and she said publicly that engagement ring is actually something she gave to herself, because you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. A bit weird. Not sure if I buy it. Not sure if I buy it. Maybe. But there you go. I thought it was a dog toy. Yeah. It equally could be the sound of one of my dogs chewing on a dog toy. Yeah, no, that's my mouse. Because I was trying to scroll up to see any super chats or anything I missed. And when it goes up, see? It makes that sound. So I'll try to not do that. And rock on, my friends. Thank you for the super chat. Have you seen Burning Love and how similar this is to Julie and Blaze? If you don't include it in your next... That's a great reference. Now, I might do that now. I have seen some Burning Love. And with, like, Nick Kroll is completely hammered on night one. It's a just show that completely it's a parody of The Bachelor. I have seen it. Cheese for your mouse. Thank you. Thank you so much for the cheese. Really appreciate it. Getting a new mouse now, or some grease for it. Just so tired. So tired. I know. How did she get his shorts? Someone's asking the right question. Not why did she sniff his shorts? How did she get his shorts? I don't know. Dale seems to be walking into all sorts of rooms, aimlessly, hoping that maybe Claire's gonna be in there somewhere, and maybe he just leaves all of his stuff everywhere. But Dale was rude for taking all that time and going back again. Yeah, but you know what? He controls he controls this season. There's no like typical stuff like stealing too much, or I don't know, white knighting and things that are typically bad on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Dale can get away with all of it because he's Dale. For Claire, he could do whatever. Do you think he's as into her? That's a good question. And a lot of people are wondering, so is Dale as into Claire as Claire's into Dale? And I mean, you can understand why it's suspect. It seems a little crazy. You know, if we're looking at the track record of The Bachelor and not as at Dale as a person, the track record of The Bachelor would say no. Typically, these things, you know, don't work out, especially when they're so fast. But we'll see, I guess. The track record's not good. Especially for a relationship so swift like this. Honey needs more airtime. Thankfully someone said it. I agree. We need like a honey break every 20 minutes at least. With how exhausting this episode was. So, and maybe if the rumors are true that he did talk to her before the season started, then maybe he would be super into her because they talk so much. Apparently they didn't, according to them. But did Deanna fly in quarantine for that short clip? I believe so. And I believe there are going to be many more people we're going to see. We're going to see Becca on a group date. She's going to lead a group date. Becca, former Bachelorette Becca. And we're also going to see Rachel come in. Rachel has been very tight-lipped about the reasoning why she's coming in, and I'm guessing it's because she's going to talk to Tayshia about being the lead. That's my guess. So I guess she probably couldn't. She was contractually obligated not to say anything at all, whereas they let Becca have a little more, freedom to talk about why she was there. But they all quarantined. And JoJo, we're going to see take over for Chris Harrison for a little while because he left the bubble to send his kid off to college. And Melissa, thank you for the super chat. It would be nice if all the guys actually left. I think they're about ready to do that. But yeah, they're gonna hold that back. They're gonna let the drama unfold, and Tayshia's gonna come in, and the guys are gonna get their second chance. And I think they're gonna be excited for it. After everything that's happened, I think they're gonna be excited. They're gonna say, finally, a fresh start. And Rena, thank you for the super chat. Tayshia would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Producers must have known before shooting started that Dale and Clare were talking. Yeah, absolutely. The timeline doesn't work out. It would be really tight to have, like, at this point, where, we're two rose ceremonies and a half into a season, and say there's another few days for all of the drama to unfold, and Claire to leave, and them to say, oh, we need a new Bachelorette now, let's call up Tayshia, and then have 2 weeks. I believe, according to the official producer timeline on it, they had Claire kind of held up and a date was delayed. And then it was supposed to be this fireworks date or something. Then they decided someone new was coming in. And then they allowed the date to continue, which is, I'm guessing, a date between Dale and Claire after everything's already been decided. And then at that point, Tayshia had 8 more days of quarantining to go. And Tayshia's from the area, I believe. So she could have been there with, they could have called her, set it up, and she had been there within the day. But definitely, I think absolutely they had an idea of what was going on leading up to the decision to end things Absolutely. And I think like you'd be a bad producer to not see something needed to happen at least at a certain point. Like at this point in the season, at like this episode point when they're filming these few dates, you got to be looking at this and going, this season's going to be terrible. Like it's just exhausting drama, and Claire only into Dale. You know, we got to make a change. Like, let's bring in Tayshia. And I'm sure this is something they've had in their back pocket for many years. A backup Bachelor or Bachelorette. What if a Bachelor, you know, something happens where they need to go home? You know, they need to leave for a personal reason. Or what if something, you know, medically happens? Or what if they just decide they're done and they just leave for whatever reason? You know, as we see, you know, potentially with Claire and Dale. But like if they just get peeved and decide, I'm done, I'm out of here, screw the contract. They need to have something in their back pocket. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tayshia was always that person. And as soon as they saw the season coming to a close, a few episodes in, someone rung her up and said, are you in? And I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised also if Tayshia already signed a contract. Like they have, I can't remember where I heard this, but so take it with a grain of salt. But they have 3 or 4 people who they interview seriously for the lead, and then they have them sign contracts so that they can then decide who they want, and then that person's it, and it's good to go. And maybe part of that contract is, will you also be a backup? So you blew up the Bachelorette, Claire. You did it. What's your take on the whole Zach one-on-one date? I talked about this at the beginning. First and foremost, I'll say it again. The second neck grab was too much. But I don't think Zach was trying to be an aggressor on her there. I think Claire's, you know, went in for the kiss. He didn't want to. She pulled away. She was upset. He was confused. I think there was a whole lot of miscommunication. He shouldn't have gone in for the second neck pull-in, but I don't think he should be canceled for that. Like, you know. I don't think production knew before filming started that Tayshia was going to be Bachelorette. It was definitely because they saw Doom coming after filming with Claire for a while. Yeah, it's the main question is, at what point did they know? And the conspiracy ranges from it was last minute, but they already had her on standby, to this whole season was planned. What better way to make a season inside a bubble more exciting? What way to bring in hype for the season? What better way to do that than to, while it's filming, leak information about a new Bachelorette? So during the 7 months of the show not being on air, they're still drawing in hype. I honestly don't know. But conspiracy video it's going to be on its way. I'm hoping for next Monday, while we are waiting for the Bachelor to come on Thursday. It'll be on Thursday. Did you hear about Luke getting sued? Yep, and he lost, I believe. He owes $100,000 for breaking contract and like $20,000 in lawyer fees. Yikes. She should explain to Zach that it triggered her. It's, you know, it's hard to, like, if she's triggered, to like rely on her to be the coherent one. But maybe, there could have been an explanation, when Chris Harrison came in. I don't know. That's better for Zach. It's tough. I just don't think we should cancel Zach. Like, Which Luke? Oh, sorry. It was Luke P. from Hannah Brown season. So, all right. We're going to come to the end of the stream now. It's been an hour, and you know how it goes. I'm going to get up nice and early to start editing a recap so we can... I try to get those out by around 4 o'clock, if not earlier if I can. So, if you got questions, let's get them in now. Do you think Tayshia will end up with someone at the end of this? I hope so. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of happy ending story with Clare and Dale that's going to be showcased. But when's the last time this show has ended with happy endings? Bachelor in Paradise, I guess. But like the main deal, the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, when has it ended with an engagement that didn't, moments later turn into footage from outside of the show where the two break up? Or one of them had a girlfriend the whole time. And Sarah, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. So, can you include Honey in your recap tomorrow? I will try. She'll probably get in there a little bit with the whole Zach date thing. Is it against contract for Clare to follow Dale on Instagram? I don't think so, because it could mean many things. I don't think so. But they might... I imagine sometimes they might say, oh, can you unfollow this person or that person, or can you do that? And then she'll do it. But good luck, fans. So many months ahead of Bachelor videos. I know. We've got tons. It's basically, we're going straight through to the Bachelor. There's tons of content on the way. It's going to be exciting after so much non-content. And I bet you they're preparing for Paradise as well. They got to have something in mind for Paradise, I think. At this point, they know the deal, and that we might still be, needing a bubble by then, but they've probably got plans for that. And then they'll do, instead of doing Paradise in Mexico, they're going to do it in the States here. So, somewhere, I don't know, somewhere on a beach. I'm sure they can find a beach to do it. Team Bennett, absolutely. Right now, Team Bennett, please don't screw it up, Bennett. What do you think the format will be for next week? Messiness. And Katie, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. In the weeks to come, we're gonna have something with the members. We're gonna do something, whether it's like playing something together, watching something together. We're gonna do it. Can they do it in Hawaii? That's a good question. That is a good question. And Hannah, thank you for the super chat. Can you say happy birthday, Katie? Absolutely. Happy birthday. Wishing you all the best. Birthday on a Bachelorette day. What a day. Happy birthday, Katie. Wishing you all the best. And Emma, thank you for the super chat. Mouse face reveal. Yeah. Okay. The squeaky mouse. What do you think? Maybe we'll combine a face reveal with mine, which is so close. We are so close to the 100K mark. It's going to happen. November. It's going to happen at some point in November. The face reveal. Thank you all for tuning in tonight for what was truly one of the most dramatic episodes ever. Really appreciate all the support, all the super chats. You guys are awesome. You gals are awesome. You folks are awesome. See you all tomorrow for the Bachelor breakdown and recap of episode 3. Bria, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Until next time, Bachelor Fan Takeout.